Hello children, we are back to quadratic equations, that is chapter number 4 of standard 10th. We have been studying about quadratic equations and we were discussing examples wherein they were real life examples wherein we were converting the real life examples into quadratic equations and we were getting the solutions. Let's continue with the thing. We are now on question number 8. Now children, the question number 8 is, a train travels 360 km at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 5 km per hour more, it would have taken 1 hour less for the same journey. Find the speed of the train. Now you can see that there are two places that is shown by A and B. The distance between them is 360 km. Now children, you have seen that the distance between A and B, it is 360 km. The distance will remain always the same. Here we are told that if the speed had been 5 km more, that means initially whatever speed it was, the second condition is there is increase in speed. Then it would take 1 hour less. Obviously, the relation between speed and time, it is inverse. One increases, the other decreases. If you increase the speed of your car or whatever you are riding in, the time taken to reach the same destination, it is always less. So we are going to use this fact here. What are we going to find out is the speed of the train. Okay. So in that case, let us start with the solution and we'll be considering the speed of the train to be some x kilometer per hour. The distance travelled is 360. It will remain the same. Let the speed of the train be x kilometer per hour. Now you know the distance, you know the speed. You can easily calculate the time. The time will be distance upon speed, that is 360 upon x. Now children, this is the original time taken. Original speed is x, original time is 360 upon x. But then there is change in speed and time as well. So let us find out the new time and new speed. Let the new speed of the train be x plus 5. It is increasing by 5 km per hour. So it is x plus 5 km per hour. And the new time is 1 hour less. So it will be 360 upon x minus 1. The distance always, in this case at least, it is same. There is no change in the destination. So we can use the fact that speed multiplied by time equal to distance. So new speed multiplied by new time will give you the same distance, that is 360. So we are going to multiply the new speed, that is x plus 5, and the new time, that is 360 upon x minus 1, and it will be obviously equal to 360. The rest is all mathematical. Solve it. You by now know a lot about the method of solving quadratic equations. Here you have two brackets, binomials. Open the bracket. Get the quadratic equation. Once you get the quadratic equation, you will proceed solving it and you will get solution of it. Now in this case, you get two brackets, x plus 45, x minus 40 equal to 0. In that case, you will say that x equal to minus 45, x equal to 40. Children, x was our speed and speed cannot be negative. So we are going with the positive value, that is x equal to 40. So we'll say that the speed of the train is 40 km per hour. Let's continue with the next question. That is question number 9. Two taps. Two water taps together can fill a tank in 3 by 8 hours. The tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. Find the time in which each tap can separately fill the tank. Now children, there is a tank. The tank is the same. Okay. There is a change only in the diameter of the tap that is being used to fill the tank. So quantity of water that is getting into the tank, it is the same. Volume of the water inside it is the same. Now, it is being told that there are two taps. One is larger diameter, one is having larger diameter, the other one with a smaller diameter. Now, if you think, you will understand that the tap with the larger diameter will be pouring more water in the same time and the tank will fill faster. Whereas if you have the smaller tap, I mean the tap with the smaller diameter, you can see the difference in the picture also. It is quite clear. One is pouring more water, the bigger one, and the smaller diameter, that the other tap, it is pouring little bit water at a time. So obviously the time taken to fill the same tank will be more. So this is what you have to understand. Now, they have told you the relation between the time taken by these two tanks to fill, by these two taps to fill the same tank. It is clearly said in the second statement over there, the tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. Okay. We have to find the time taken by each of them. But what information is given to us? It is told that when both the taps work together, then they fill the tank in 9 3 by 8 hours. So we are going to use that fact. Okay. Obviously, we'll begin with our x. We have to consider something as x. That is how we always proceed. Let the time taken by the smaller tap to fill the tank be x hours. This is the time taken by the smaller one. If the smaller one is taking, the smaller tap is taking x hours to fill the tank, how much time will the larger tap, the tap with the larger diameter, it is taking 10 hours less. So for it, the time will be x minus 10 hours. That is why it is now written, and the time taken by the larger tap to fill the tank will be x minus 10 hours. Okay, with this, we are now going to convert this into 1 hour job of each of the tap. Smaller tap is taking x hours to fill the entire tank. So in 1 hour, how much tank will be filled? It will be 1 upon x, that much part only. Let me take another example. It is just like work and day type of question. If the tank is taking whatever time, if I'm using the smaller tap and it is taking 4 hours to fill the entire tank, so in 1 hour, only 1/4 of the tank will be filled, isn't it? The same way, here, because it is taking x hours, in 1 hour, it will be taking 1 upon, it will be filled. The tank will be filled to 1 upon xth part. Similarly, the larger tap, it is going to fill 1 upon x minus 10, that much part of the tank only. Next, two water taps together can fill a tank in 3 by 8 hours. That is the total time taken by both the taps together. So, we will say that in 1 hour, 1 upon 9 3 by 8, that much part of the tank is only filled. For 1 hour, it is always 1 upon the number. This is how we will say that total of both 1 hour work together the taps are taking, it will be equated to this 1 hour work by both the tanks. So 1 upon x plus 1 upon x minus 10 equal to 1 upon 9 3 by 8. I hope this statement is now clear to you. It is all 1 hour work. On the left hand side, separately, two taps are working. We have added them. And on the right hand side, it is the total time which the question itself has. It is being told to us. Now the rest is all mathematical. You solve it. The right hand side is initially solved and then cross multiply on the left hand side and proceed further. When you proceed further, you will get a quadratic equation. Solve the quadratic equation, then you will get a value like this, x equal to 25 or 15 by 4. Now, that means the time taken by the smaller tap, it is 25 hours, and the time taken by the larger tap, it will be 10 hours less than that, that is 15 hours. The next question, this is again related to distance time. An express train takes 1 hour less than a passenger train to travel 132 km between Mysore and Bangalore without taking into consideration the time they stop at intermediate stations. We are not considering that in between stations. If the average speed of the express train is 11 km per hour, more than that of the passenger train, find the average speed of the two trains. Now, the distance between the two destinations, starting from Mysore to Bangalore, the total distance is told to be 132 km. The trains are moving from one place to the other. Now, there are two types of trains which we are talking about. One is passenger train, the other one is express train. Now children, there is a basic difference between these two type of train. Passenger trains, they travel at a lesser speed. They exist. Whereas the express train, they are faster. The name itself will tell you express. They run faster than the passenger trains. Okay. So it is basically the difference in the speed of those two trains. But natural, traveling in those express trains will be a little bit costlier because it is giving you the service regarding speed. That's a different thing. Let us come to the point over here. Here it is told that the express train that is shown here by on the right hand side, it is taking more time, it is having more speed. So what we have been considering here is the speed of the passenger train, that is lesser. Let it be x kilometer per hour. In that case, the speed of the express train will be 11 hours more than that 11 kilometer per hour more than that is x plus 11 kilometer per hour. So the first initial statement followed by the next. Now we know the speed of both the trains. We know the distance between the destination also. Starting point and the destination also. The distance is 132. One more information is given to us that the express train, because it runs faster, it is taking 1 hour less. So we are going to use that fact. Let's proceed. The distance is 132. We are finding out the time taken by the passenger train. The distance 132 upon the speed, that is x. So the time taken by passenger train is 132 upon x. Next, the time taken by the express train. Distance is same, 132 upon x minus 1. Why minus 1? Because express train is running faster by 1 hour. So the original time minus 1. Now children, for the express train, we are calculating speed into time equal to distance. So the speed was 11 plus x, that is x plus 11 for express train. And the time taken, we have just found it out. It is 132 upon x minus 1. And the distance is 132. Now when you solve it further, you will get a quadratic equation. Solve it further and you get these two values. One is negative. We are not going to consider it. So we will be considering the speed of the passenger train to be 33 km per hour, and the speed of the express train is 11 km per hour more, that is 44 km per hour. Now, sum of the areas of two squares is 468 square meter. The difference, if the difference of their perimeter is 24, find the sides of the two squares. Now you have two squares. Let me consider length of one side of one square be x and the length of the sides of the other square to be y. So it is clear with the picture over there. Now, there are the relations which are given between the perimeters and the areas of these two squares. So, let us find them out initially. Perimeter of the bigger square, it is 4x and its area will be x square. Perimeter for the smaller one, it is 4y and its area is y square. This is all known fact. Let us now continue with the work. The difference of their perimeters, it is 24. So 4x minus 4y equal to 24. And you simplify it, it is x minus y equal to 6. This everyone knows. And here we are getting the value of x. We will be using it later on. Moreover, you are told that sum of the areas of the two square, it is 468. So, areas are already calculated. We have written it as x square plus y square equal to 468. Here we are going to substitute the value of x, and that is how you will have equation in one variable. It will be a quadratic equation obviously, but then only one variable. So, solve it further. This is what you get. It's a quadratic equation. Then solve it. When you solve the quadratic equation, you get y equal to 12. And y was the length of the smaller square. So you will say the length of one of the squares, it is 12. And for the other one, it is 6 more than that. That is 18. This is how we have now completed this exercise. We'll continue with the next exercise in the coming video. Keep solving, keep learning. Thank you.